Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time, this isn't going to be a news story, it's going to be pretty rambling, so I do want to give a heads up, but there's been something on my mind, and I couldn't exactly pinpoint what the problem was until now. I'm going to be discussing why the Earthrise Megatron isn't as appealing as some other Transformers figures. Now, before we discuss the main problems that I have with it, I want to discuss some little things. First of all, the head design isn't that good. I don't know, there's something very off about it. I can kind of see what they're going for. It's kind of like a blend with the Masterpiece and how tall it looks with the Siege figure, the previous one. And I just don't think those two versions really blend together that well. I feel like they could have just stuck with the Siege Megatron and it would have been fine. And also, I do not like the sword. The original one was pretty cool. It had an interesting transformation trick. And with that, you can also configure it in different ways. You can attach it to the cannon and whatnot. This version it's a clunk of kibble, it's a mess, and it just has the blade sticking out. It's not well crafted, it's not as inspiring, it's just kind of lazy. I will also talk about some of the good things. I like the abdomen section on this version a little bit more. It's a little taller. It doesn't make Megatron look so squat and wide. So I do enjoy that. And I also like how the tank mode is a little more clean compared to his previous version. Now with that, let's discuss the big issues, starting with the Siege line. So with the Siege line, we had Cybertronian versions of certain characters, so they did change things up. Take, for example, the Optimus Prime. In the truck form, we got those eyebrow things and those Gatling guns at the wheel wells, but they tried to make it a little more Cybertronian while still keeping in roots to the original G1 design. And I kind of like that because it was a little more creative with those designs, but then you go into Earthrise, and the Optimus Prime redesign is more like the traditional Optimus Prime we're used to from Generation 1. And so, it's certainly appealing, and it's different compared to the original one, but when you take a look at both Optimus Primes, you can definitely tell that they come off of each other. Not only are they the same character, but you can tell that they're from the same world. It's not like taking the Siege Optimus Prime and turning it to the leader class Power of the Primes Optimus Prime, where it's much bigger, or like Animated, where you had the Deluxe Cybertronian Optimus Prime, and then you go to the Voyager Earth mode Optimus Prime. These two look like they're the same character, and also from the same world. It's the same with Smokescreen, it's the same with the Seekers, and it's definitely the same for Megatron. Especially considering that Megatron goes from a Cybertronian tank to an Earth-style tank. Now, why am I talking about this? I think one of the problems with the Earthrise Megatron is that it just doesn't feel as necessary compared to Optimus Prime. First of all, you could already pretty much take the Cybertronian Megatron tank mode and use that in the Earthrise lineup, and it doesn't feel like much has changed. Sure, the Earthrise Megatron definitely looks more Earth-based, but this is a fictional world, so it doesn't really matter. But I think the big reason why it's not appealing to me, and this is the thing that I really couldn't pinpoint, is that when you take a look at Optimus Prime, in his Siege version, he definitely has changes compared to the original roots. But then you go to Earthrise, and he looks more like his classic G1 design. So it goes from G1 to modified G1 to G1 again. But the problem with Megatron is that none of the modes are G1 anyways. In his G1 days, he was a gun, and then he turned into a tank, and then now he's a different tank. So it doesn't feel that necessary because it's not in his G1 roots anyways. Now, I totally understand why he's a tank, and I feel like a lot of things are working against the Earthrise Megatron. I think that the overall figure isn't necessarily bad. I think the problem with it is it just doesn't feel necessary. But again, I think it's got a lot of it working against it. So that's why I find the Earthrise Megatron not that appealing, and I think that might be the big issue for a lot of people. But what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. I want you guys to discuss this as well. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun dudettes. And I'll see you guys next time.